All right. Hey, welcome back again. It's been a little bit of time, as you know it always is. Um, my name is Araby, and I'm with you again on this podcast, EX-Nihilo. And today we're just going to be going back into the Rich Dad Poor Dad book that we were talking about in our last episode, just before. This time we wanted to look at a few other things as well. So, just jumping right back into it, I have today's quote for you. Today's quote is: "Learn to use your emotions to think, not to think with your emotions." And another personal quote as I think about is: "Why not start today?" Today's a great day to start, and here we go. So, this quote, "More money does not solve money problems," I think is very, very important. It's important for all of our lives, and it's important. It's an important thing to understand when starting, your entrepreneurship or starting to think about the future. A lot of people feel trapped and they think, I need to do these things. I need to get a good job. I need to get a good internship. I need to do all these things so I can get money and provide for my family, or travel, or whatever else people want to do with their money. And I think it's very important to look at your emotions first. And so, in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, it really talks about the emotions and like your gut reaction to money, which is the most important thing to start with, your plans and your future. And emotions, they're natural, they're good. Specifically with money, there's emotions like fear, there's greed, and there's like pride, and there's all these different things that go on when people think about money. And I applied that to myself. How do I feel about money? Do I feel those emotions? Do I feel fear? Do I feel like that, like gut reaction when it's that time to pay your rent and you maybe don't have enough? And yeah, what is like that greed? Is it something that I'm going for? Is it something that I'm trying to get, to acquire? Do I want nice clothes? Do I want a nice apartment, nice place to live? Maybe these fancy things that have statuses of like wealth and stuff like that. And then there's like the pride aspect of that. Do I feel entitled to have money? Do I feel like, oh, I've worked at this job for 5 years, and so I deserve to have a raise, or I deserve to have a better position because I feel like I'm maybe better than other people, or I'm more capable than other people? Is that pride when it comes into money in my life and things like that? And so, specifically, I wanted to answer those questions for me because I feel like this is really just a journal for me that I get to include everybody else in. So I'm just going to talk about how I feel, right? And I thought about, am I working out of fear? A lot of the chapters in this book are talking about how people will not leave their job, or they'll never like go and try to get better because they're afraid of, first, of failure, and they're afraid of, well, I guess in my life I'm like afraid of maybe something doesn't work out. What if I leave that great job and then I'm stuck on the street? Like, there's so much fear with trying something new. There's so much fear with even like this podcast. There's so much fear with maybe like it's not successful. Maybe no one even listens to it. But shout out to that one person in Philadelphia who has listened to this. Thank you so much, my first listener. But yeah, anyways, but I try to detach myself from the fear. I try to separate myself from the emotions, from the gut feeling. And that's the first step in Rich Dad Poor Dad, is to use your emotions to think, not to be compelled to do things because of your emotions. And so I think to myself, why do I want to be rich? You have to be honest with your goals. You have to be honest with what you want. Why do I want to be rich? Why am I doing this? Well, I don't think that I specifically do want to be rich, right? I had a great job a few years ago. It was paying great, had great benefits. I was working there for 2 years. And it was a pretty easy job. I was just doing some security, online, like data security, stuff like that. Pretty cushy. I had a little office space, and I had great coworkers. Life was amazing, and I was getting a pretty good paycheck every single month. And I had enough for rent, and I had enough for a lot of fun things, and I traveled to different places. I did some things in Tennessee. I went to Mexico. I went here and there and did other things like that. But I really realized that I didn't have time. I didn't have time to pursue my passions. I didn't have, like, I had the money, but I didn't have the time. And so I was like, how do I get both? What do I do? And so I left that job, and I took a way less good job, way underpaid. Well, not underpaid. I work at a bowling alley, so how much do you get paid for that? But I wanted to have time to do the things that I wanted to do. Now, at my new job, I don't get paid really that much at all, but I have time to do homework. I have time to hang out and do things with friends, and most importantly, I have time to work on my goals. Things like this podcast, things like the other things I'm working on. You may not know, but I'm a dancer and I do microbiology. Both those things take a ton of time, and so I needed that time, and I needed the money less, at least right now. And so my next thing was, I wanted to think about, honestly, what is money to me? And I think this is a good question. You should be asking yourself the same questions that I'm asking myself. So, why do I want to be rich? And what is money to me? I really had to sit down and think about that for a while. What is money, right? I can go and get like this gig that's really well paying, make $700 in 3 hours or less, right? And then I can work the same bowling alley job over and over and over, week after week. And what do I get? I get less than what I made at this one gig, right? And so you think, what is money? Money doesn't actually like attach itself to like how hard you work, if that makes sense. How hard, like make the most money ever when I'm doing less. When I get a good like acting or modeling gig or something like that, I make way more money than when I work as hard as I can somewhere else for much longer, and I get much less. So I think maybe money isn't exactly about how much work I put in to something. Maybe money is something else. And I'm still trying to figure out what that is exactly. Because, I mean, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not anything like that. I'm just a normal guy, and I'm just trying to figure out how this kind of works in my mind. But to me, I can kind of see that there's something weird going on here, just in my own life right there. Another one of the honest thoughts and honest questions that we should all talk to ourselves about is, why have I wasted so much time? Every time I think about why am I wasting so much time, if I pursued my dreams when I had my dreams, I'd be living them. But I've had my dreams and I've started planning to pursue them. Planning to pursue your dreams isn't pursuing your dreams. Thinking about your dreams isn't pursuing your dreams. Talking to people about your dreams and writing down all these little things you're gonna do for your dreams, like, and your goals, it's not actually doing it. And I think that is a good waste of time. I think I do that a lot, is I sit there and I say, okay, I want to do this and this thing, and okay, I need to like go and do this at home, and I need to work on this so I can start to do that. But what if I just stopped wasting time? What if I just got the camera out, got a mic, wrote down some notes, and I just went out and did it? Like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm very done. I'm very over wasting time. I procrastinated so much for so long that I'm like, I think I'm at the point where I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of procrastinating. I'm tired of not living my dreams. Okay? And my last one is, have I been working for money? This is a big thing in Rich Dad Poor Dad. And it's, have I been working for money, or has money been working for me? Currently in my life, it has been big time I have been working for money. Money has not been working for me. And I really want to change that. And that's why I'm so happy that I'm on this path, and I'm starting this journey to change that aspect of myself. And I think it's going to be pretty substantial and pretty big. And so I'm learning about money, and I'm putting in time to talk to people about finances and careers, and I love talking to people, and I would love any feedback that you have if you want to come out here and talk to me about the things that you're thinking about, anything else like that. But the more we talk to each other, the more we talk to people that are honestly smarter than ourselves, the more we can learn, and the more we can change, like, have money working for us instead of us working for the money. I think I did grow a little bit when I left that well-paying job. There was a little bit of like fear that I had to overcome. I had to be like, I'm putting aside this really good thing, this security, for some very much unknown stuff here. I'm putting away this comfort for discomfort. And I think that's a very big step. And I urge any of you guys listening, if you have something in your life right now, maybe try to take that step. Maybe put aside the comfort, put aside the security, and go out there and truly do and work on what you want to do and work on. All right? So, the first lesson that I think the most important lesson out of all of this is overcoming fear. Fear is the thing that holds me back, it holds you back, it holds my friends back, it holds my family, it holds everybody back. It's the biggest thing that if we could overcome would make our lives so much easier. It'd make my life easier. I know there's tons of books and other things, and we'll get to those in the future about overcoming fear and some steps to do about that. But for me, I just wanted to talk about this thing from page 47 in the book. And it's talking about a cruel life. And they're in a park, and they're talking about what is a cruel life? Is a cruel life like not having the things that you want? Is it having a life where you're always dependent on someone else? In the book, it talks about what a cruel life is. And it's someone that works every single day for their entire life just to get by, just to have enough. And it talks about how that is a cruel life. It's a life where you're always running in a circle. You're always going around and around. You're chasing money, and you're afraid of what happens when you don't have it. And so you chase money and you try to achieve that. And then you have money and you spend it, and then you don't have enough for the things that you want. And so you think, I need more money. And then you chase money. And it's just over and over and over again. And it's a circle. And that's what people call the rat race. And that is what is a cruel life. I want a life of freedom. I'm very, very big on freedom. And I'm not big on land of the free, home of the brave. That is, of course, great, and that's its own thing. But to me, freedom is a personal thing. Freedom is, are you free if you have to go to the same job over and over and over again, and you don't really have anything because of it? Like, if you're doing all this work and you don't have anything to show for it, is that freeing? If you're tied to this career that you don't really like, but you're already in it, is that free? Like, is all these things, like, I just don't know how to describe it. It just, to me, it doesn't feel free. It feels contained, and it feels like you're a slave to money, and you're a slave to like the system, and you're not yourself, and you belong part of something else. And the biggest thing that I want is I want freedom. I want to be free to do the things that I want to do. And I want to be free with my money and I want to use the money how I want to use my money. Not because I have these obligations, I have rent, I have this and I have this. And of course we'll always have those things. But if those things are a big majority of all the money that we have, that isn't free. And that's not the life that I personally want. Is it the life that I'm living right now? Kind of. But it's not how it's always going to be. And I think that's another thing is we don't have to be in the same spot we've been. We don't have to keep circling the train just because that's what we've been doing so far. It's comfortable, right? It is a cruel life, but it's a secure life. Maybe it's time we get out of there. Maybe it's time we change something, we change our direction. I don't know. That's more thoughts to myself, honestly. So, getting out of debt and saving money doesn't solve the problem. That's part of the race as well. Saving money, even if you get out of the debt, you pay off your house, you pay off your loans. I have a few student loans that I just got this semester. That paying those off, I feel like I'll still be in the same spot. I don't know if that'll be a big sense of accomplishment, honestly. Like, yeah, I finally have more time and I have more stuff, but I won't feel truly free. I need to get out of the race entirely. I need to get out of whatever this is, whatever this life is, I gotta get out of it. And that's my plan. Yeah, I'm currently, in a little bit of debt, as I said. And there's other ways. That's one of the biggest part of Rich Dad Poor Dad, is that it's trying to teach you another way. It's trying to teach people that they don't have to follow the college route. They don't have to follow what everybody else is doing because that's the way life is supposed to be. You can do something else. I know that I'm currently getting an education in microbiology, as I said, but I'm not doing it because I'm chasing money. I'm not doing it because of the imagination of being rich or having a good job. I don't pursue microbiology for the possibility of, oh, maybe I'll be a doctor someday and I'll finally get out of debt eventually and then I'll start making money because doctors are what people that are rich are. I wouldn't say so. As I was saying before, the amount of effort you put in for that much money, just kind of like when I was talking about my two jobs. I put in a ton of effort, but I don't get that much money. And then other times, I put in no effort, and I get a ton. I think the way that life is right now is built on a thing that's putting so much work into work for money. Instead of putting so much work into yourself, into your dreams, and then making money from that. I think it's harder. I think it's so much harder because you have to go your own way. You have to do your own thing. So, yeah. When it talks about how to change that in your life, in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it says to look for opportunities that others would miss. I was talking to my nephew a few months ago, and I was talking to him just about a few of these things. He's in elementary, and he wants to go and start mowing lawns for some money. And he says, I can borrow or get a lawnmower, and if I cut these many lawns, I can start small and then slowly make it bigger and bigger. And I was like, what a incredible kid to think about doing your own thing, think about making and setting your own path in elementary school. And of course you can see like maybe kids like this, and you're like, oh, you're gonna go so many places, you're gonna do so many things just because you have this desire and this imagination that's not like, oh, I want to be blah 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 in the future, I want to have this occupation in the future. Is they're thinking more like, I want to do these things so I can have time to do these other things. And I think that's so smart. And maybe there's that kid in a lot of us. I can remember back in the day, I had crazy dreams like that, but somewhere along the line, it got stopped. It got snuffed out, and it got replaced with, I want this occupation in my future. And I'm not saying that those occupations are bad, or that they're not good, or they're a waste of time, or you'll never be rich becoming this, blah, blah, blah. If that's your dream, chase it, because that's literally what I'm saying. I'm saying don't live your life not chasing your dreams. I think that the happiest life is a life of purpose, and you can make your own purpose. Go out there and write down the things that you want to do. Make your own purpose. I have made my own purpose, and I'm working on that. And every time that I take a step towards my purpose, it fills me with joy. It makes me so happy. That's why this isn't a chore. This is something that I get to do for fun, which is so cool. That I get to go out of my way, out of my busy day, and I get to sit down and I get to film a little video and I get to record a little something, and I get to write down my notes about the books that I read, and I think it's amazing and I think it's so fun. And of course, I think it's important to go find the thing that you think is fun, not the thing that people think is fun, or people think is successful, or people think is cool. Do your own thing, make your own path, all right? So, you miss all these opportunities, and I've missed opportunities because I've been afraid. But this time, I'm going to do something a little different. I made a list of things that truly make me a little scared. And not I'm going to jump off blah, blah, blah because I'm afraid of heights. I've always wanted to be, or not be, but run for student body president. I wanted to run for student body president in high school. And it was always my dream to it just sounds so scary, and maybe I won't do it because I'm scared. And then I was like, you know what? No, that fear is holding me back. And so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do specifically the things that bring me fear. Things that I can absolutely fail on. And another part of the puzzle is it's not about winning. It's about doing the things that bring you fear. It's about pursuing the things that bring you fear. All right? So, it's not about winning. It's about doing. And there's a lot of things like that. Maybe you guys can understand how this film is. Maybe it's other things are, why don't I talk to this person? Maybe you're afraid. Why don't I ask out this person? Why don't I go on a date with that person? They're so beautiful. They're so perfect. Why don't I do this and that? Well, I'm afraid, right? And so you don't do it. Why don't you apply for this job or this internship? Why don't you take off school and travel to here or there, or do whatever you want, or take a few weeks from the summer and just go live somewhere you've always wanted to live. Go live in Alaska, Go to Mexico, go to China. I can't, I have things here, and it's just, what if it doesn't work out? That's the fear. That's the fear talking. I imagine the person that I can be if I didn't have that fear, and it's incredible. And that's what pushes me forward towards it. Why don't I start this business? Oh, well, it's going to fail, and it won't work out, and then I'll just have nothing, and I'll have to go back to this job, and it'll be humiliating, and blah, blah, blah. And, right? That's still fear. But what if it works? I say we do things because we want to. I say we do things because it's our goal. I say we don't let people control our destiny and what we are, our purpose. I can control if I run for student body president. I can't control if I win. That is out of my control. So to me, I don't have to be afraid about the things I can't control. And I don't have to worry about the things I can't control. I can ask out that pretty girl. I can try my hardest in this thing. I can um, go here and make plans for this and run for that and apply for this, apply for that job. And that's all on me. What happens after those things is on others. That's where the relief comes from. That's where the freedom is that you don't have to worry about other people. You are free, completely free to do what you want to do, and you're completely free to live your life as you want. Somebody out there is living the life that you want. Somebody is living the dreams that they want. Somebody is having that job that you want. And here's the thing is like there's no predestined like it didn't just happen because it was only meant for them. Someone is living the way that they want, and why can't that person be you? If somebody is going to be happy, why not you? If somebody is going to be successful, why not you? Why not me? So, making money is sometimes just fulfilling a need. And I wanted to make a list of ideas that I could possibly use in the future to make money. Things that I truly wanted to do. Use your skills, use your brain, use your mind. In the book, it talks about the kids saying, well, how am I supposed to make money? Like, what do I do? And the dad says, use that thing in between your ears. Use that thing in the middle of your head, and you can do anything. And my last point is that we are planting trees for the delicious, delicious pies that we're making later. Every pie that we've had, every piece of fruit that we've eaten has come from a seed, has come from a tree, has come from a plant that was all planted years and years and years ago. And sometimes these seeds don't grow and these plants don't grow, but people eat pies all the time. So why don't you? Why don't you be the one this time with the pie? Why don't you be the one that goes out of your way and plants that tree? Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for being with me today for these last few minutes. I'm so happy to continue to. I think I'm going to talk about Rich Dad Poor Dad for one last section, and we're going to see if we can get some things to happen with that. But I'm going to talk about it one last time, and then we're going to switch to another book, and we're going to keep doing that. And I really hope that I see you guys sooner than 6 months. Maybe I might even see you next week. Anyways, thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great day. And remember that EX-Nihilo, out of nothing. We are building our lives out of nothing, and we are taking purpose. We are creating purpose from nothing. Thank you, and I hope you all have a great, fabulous day.